The 8 Ambira Boys High School students who were allegedly caught on video last week hurling insults at Education Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Mina Mohammed and her interior counterpart Dr. Fred Matiang'i have been remanded. As we well know, the minors who appeared before resident magistrate Gladys Adhiambo at Ukwala Law Court in Siaya did not take plea. But to give us more information on this particular development, let's join Kevin Ogutu, who's been following up on this case and the proceedings that happened earlier on before Justice Adhiambo. Kevin, many thanks for joining us. Now, we well know that they will be held in custody till December the 3rd. What else should we know, especially what the prosecution will be seeking in terms of solidifying this case against the said students?
Well, a very good afternoon, Jesse. Actually, as it stands right now, the 8 former Ambira High School students will remain in police custody. This followed the successful application by the Chief Inspector of Police, Andrew Nyambati, who asked the court to grant them additional 7 days so that they can conclude investigations into what was depicted in the video that went viral on social media, where a number of students from Ambira High School were hurling unprintable insults at Ambassador Mina Mohammed, who is the Education Cabinet Secretary, and Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who is the Interior Cabinet Secretary. So, as it stands right now, they have the 7 days to conclude the investigation, but what was presented before Senior Resident Magistrate Gladys Adhiambo was that they contributed into the breaching of peace, which is contrary to the Constitution. So that is what was presented, but then again, the prosecution didn't have much concrete evidence, so they are yet to prefer any charges against the 8 accused. Remember, Jesse, these 8 students or former students of Ambira High School, 7 of them are 17 years or so, they said so, and 1 said that he's 16. So this makes them minors. So this now means that the prosecution has to now again independently establish whether they are actually minors before they can proceed with the case. And this, of course, we will get to know by the 3rd of December, when the prosecution shall have established their true age, given that once somebody is a minor, of course, they need also to use their other arms or other techniques to verify, probably through medically, that is. So also present in court was Advocate Nyandoro, YK, who was holding brief for Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Remember, part of the reasons why the prosecution wanted an additional 7 days to carry investigation was because, among other things, the chief officer, the chief of police officer, who is Chief Inspector of Police, Andrew Nyambati, sorry for that, as he is yet to get a court statement from Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i. So this is part of the reasons why they were asking for additional days. Of course, the Senior Resident Magistrate Gladys Adhiambo was quick to notice that there was need for the prosecution to be given the days, but directed that they have to be put in children's cells at Ugunja Police Station. So that is the match that is happening. Of course, the video that went viral, of course, has elicited quite diverse reactions given the positions the 2 cabinet secretaries hold in this society, the Kenyan government, that is. So, of course, we are now training our eyes on the 3rd of December, when we expect the charges to be preferred against the 8. Jesse.
Well, many thanks, Kevin Ogutu, right there, bringing us up to speed. We'll definitely keep you updated about how that case transpires on the 3rd of December. Meanwhile, the Senate Minority Leader and Siaya Senator James Orengo has referred to the Ambira Boys case as a bad example that young people are copying from adults who engage in graft and impunity. Senator Orengo spoke alongside the GEM Member of Parliament, Elisha Odhiambo, before the school boys were arraigned in court.
It looks like fraud and corruption is part of our DNA. If students can see leaders defrauding the public of thousands and millions of shillings, this is the example that they will follow. So I think the most important thing for President Uhuru Kenyatta to deal with is impunity at the highest level. Impunity at the highest level. And I commend what the government is doing in fighting with corruption. My only problem is that we have still not dealt with grand corruption.
I know it is not right for a Form 4 student to abuse a CS, especially abusing Matiang'i. It is not the right thing to do. And even during our time, we went through examinations. We did Form 4 examination, Class 7, we never abused anybody. And in that time, there was no cheating in schools. So I'm calling upon the teachers whom we have entrusted with our children to model them in a way that they know hard work and effort pays. We need to treat them. We need the church to come in and help this country so that the morals of our children are kept right in the confines of the Bible.
All right.